Hello, Craftin' buddies. It's Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I am coming to you on Tuesday, September 30th. It is 11:37 p.m. here in Wisconsin. And I cannot believe it is the last day of September. So tomorrow is going to be October already. I am looking for I cleaned one of my desk drawers, and wouldn't you know, I can't find anything. I'm kind of seeing a shadow or a shine here. There. I got these kind of clearish opaque post-it notes. So hopefully that'll take care of that little glare. So, welcome. Couple of quick announcements before we start. I suppose I should try to find my channel on my tablet so that I can follow along in case anybody joins me live. I thought I had it there for a second. I must have tapped it too quickly. And let me get my computer up as well. And then we'll get going. Once again, I am not wearing my wireless mic, and it looks like the picture is better. So if I'm not talking loud enough, let me know. All right. If you are new to my channel, welcome, of course. But let me know where you're joining in from. So let me know where you're joining me from, and feel free to chime in to the chat. Let me just finish this quickie note. All right. There, we're good. We're good. All right, so a couple of quick announcements. This 12 days of crafting advent calendar arrived at my house today. I am pretty excited. So I thought I would just open it up quick and kind of see. I'll show you how big it is. Obviously you can see most of the box here, but this is the stamp set that comes with it. So there are 24 stamps in this. So if you weren't sure, there we go. I guess I was zoomed in a little bit. Didn't realize. If you were not sure, if you were interested in this, even though it is an advent calendar, that doesn't mean it's Christmas. All right. So this is kind of an all occasion. The only thing I see Christmas there is that you could probably turn this into a poinsettia. But we've got miss you, healing hugs, thinking of you, always in my heart, proud of you, birthday wishes, big thanks, love you, and for someone extra special. There's a butterfly with the body. There's some flowers, some foliage, a cupcake, and more flowers. Hey, Sala, welcome. So these are much smaller than the actual stamps. They're just at 80% on the front. So there's the size of the actual stamps. And there's actually 2 sheets of stamps because there are so many of them. So let's take a look inside. I guess I need to turn it over. And look at how big this box is. Let's see if I can get it out of here. So I'm not gonna, well, maybe I will open it up because there is gonna be flaps on there. We're not gonna be able to see anything in it yet because that would kind of spoil the fun, right? I'm just trying to slice open this packaging. It is big. All right, look at this. So you can see it's like 2 inches thick, and then there's all kinds of goodies in here. So these are all perforated doors. So there's going to be embellishments, probably some dies. They said tools, so I don't know. The stamps were in there. What did they say? Tools, paper. Maybe there's a 6x6 pack of Designer Series paper in here, because that would be about the right size. We'll see how close we are. So 6x6. I bet that's Designer Series paper. Oh, by the way, you were able to spot some velvet paper after looking a little bit. Oh, good. I'm glad. If you can't get it, let me know. And I could even, if you purchased it through me, I could cut it down into a smaller pack if you don't need it 12 by 12. I could do like 6 by 6. It might be less expensive, but it's not going to weigh anywhere near a pound. So I'm thinking shipping would not be too much, but I don't know how long it'll take. All right, so let's just see. This is 6 by 6. This is like 5 by 4 1/4, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So you can see these are all pretty big. So this door opens up here at like 2 1/2-ish by 2, 3 1/2-ish by maybe 4. So I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of fun stuff in here. I'm pretty excited about this one. So I believe it's all a coordinating suite of products. So it's all in this fun little box. So that's that. Whoops, sorry. All right. 12 days of crafting. All right. Next quickie announcement that I might not be so quick, sorry. World Card Making Day is Saturday, October 4th. Stampin' Up! Is having a free online event. Register if you want to watch along. Order the kit. You obviously won't have it by Saturday unless you do like expedited shipping. But if you are local to me, I have just 2 kits left. So if you're local to me and want to either stop by the studio and craft with me on Saturday, I'll have the studio open from 2 to 5. The event is actually from 3 to 4 our time here, which is Central Time. And I am planning on having a clearance sale on Saturday. So even if you don't want to stay for the whole event, we'll be doing some fun things here. So I have 2 more of these kits. Let me know if you're interested. First come, first serve. And if you're not local to me and you want one of these, let me know. The price would be $20 plus shipping. So I've already paid for shipping once. I've already paid the tax. So I would just have to ship it off to you. You are not going to have it by Saturday for sure. But that's that. So this Saturday, join in with Stampin' Up! Or find somebody to craft with, or craft all on your own if you don't have anybody to join. But enjoy World Card Making Day. And then, best starter kit ever. It truly is the best one I've ever seen Stampin' Up! Do. For our North American market, they are offering 2 options. You can get $125 worth of product for only $35, or you can select $189 worth of product for just $99. Either way, it is $90 worth of free product. But wait, there's more. You get free shipping. You get a surprise paper pumpkin kit. And you have, because you would be joining in a partial quarter, because October 1st will have already started. They don't really count that first quarter. You would be able to take advantage of at least a discount on all of your future purchases through the end of March, and perhaps even longer. The discount is 20% off, and you have the option or the possibility of having that discount go up to $25 or 25% rather. So this is a pretty sweet deal. And it looks like my screen is a little crooked here. I don't know if I'm going the right way with my camera or not. We'll see in a second when my device is, nope, I think that turned it the wrong way. We'll go this way. Pardon my reach. All right, so let's see what else we get. So when you join, I talked about that discount. As a member of my team, you also get early access to pre-order items. You get early access to catalogs. You get early access to certain promotions that are available to members or demonstrators, whether you're just a kidnapper, like you just want this $125 worth of stuff for $35. Who wouldn't want that, right? Excuse me. Anybody who loves crafting, if you haven't already joined Stampin' Up, this is just such a sweet deal. And there are really no strings attached. If at the end of, March, you decide, I don't want anything more, I'm really not buying that much, I don't want the discount, whatever, you get to keep everything you've purchased at whatever discount you were able to get it. And this is all product you pick. So there's nothing that you would have to say, oh, if I didn't buy this much, then I have to pay this much to Stampin' Up. It doesn't work that way. All right. You get your kit, you get whatever you purchase. And if you continue and you want to continue getting your discount, supporting your habit, your crafting habit, that's what I did. I just wanted the kit and the discount. And, that was 8 years ago. So, let's see, what else? Well, you would get me. So besides my, YouTubes here, I do have team meetings where we can share creative ideas and do projects amongst ourselves and just get together. And sometimes we don't even craft. We go and do, we don't paper craft. We don't do Stampin' Up stuff necessarily. We have gone and done other things as well. So keep that in mind. If you're interested, let me know. That starts tomorrow. Well, it starts in, it's tomorrow, but it's not quite midnight here, which means it's not quite 11 in Utah. So that will release October 1st, Utah time. So tonight, hello, Nicole, welcome. So I'm done with all of my announcements. That was a lot. Let me take another drink of water. Welcome from Perth. You've got a beautiful spring day. We have a beautiful summer like fall day by us. So I like spring too. Here it's really wet in the spring. So let's get down to business. We are going to do this Haunted Home Kit. I've had this for a bit. Stampin' Up first released this last year and it sold out super fast. And I think I got mine before it sold out the first time, but then it's been in and out of stock for quite a while. I have one kit available besides the one that we're going to make tonight. So again, if you're local to me and you want this kit, let me know. Or you can order it online through my online store and have it shipped right to your home if you're not local. Anybody who, you just got 2 BBBs of Halloween crafty goodness. What's a BBB? As soon as you say it, maybe it'll seem really obvious to me. But I'm not sure what a BBB is, Nicole. So anyway, if you're local to me and you order this before midnight Mountain Time, you will get a free gift from me as well. All right. You get that out of the way. And And I guess you wouldn't even have to just order that kit if you place any order before midnight Mountain Time today. Oh, big brown box. Of course, silly me. Of course. All right, I was just writing myself a note so I don't forget that. So I just broke the seal on this today, like tonight before I was going live, so that I could get a picture of this for the thumbnail on my video. So I'm just going to take all of these little goodies out of here, and we are going to put this together. I'm going to keep this because maybe that's what you're supposed to put it on when you're done. I don't know. All right, we'll get that box out of the way. We'll do this. And I am going to save this tear and tape. I like to use this for one of my classes that I do with my Senior Living Center ladies. But there's also a little skull in here. Now my granddaughter likes Halloween. I don't feel like we over celebrate it. It's just kind of a fun time. We don't do all the witches and ghouls, and we try to do fun stuff. But there's there's 3 wires in here, and that's for these bats here to fly from the ceiling. So I'm going to set that aside. When we need tear and tape, I'm just going to use my full-size roll. Don't forget, if you wouldn't mind, give me a little thumbs up if you like my videos. Feel free to share. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to my channel. I sure do appreciate it. Yeah, that helps. Helps me grow my channel and share what I love with more people. All right, so anytime you get a kit from Stampin' Up, you also get adhesives. So we've got the black dimensionals here. These are the full-size ones. And we have some glue dots. I may save those and just use the glue dots off of my roll, because that's what I usually do. And then let's just take a look. There's a bunch of these laser cut pieces. So I usually like to punch these out ahead of time so that I have all of the pieces ready. And then I can get rid of some of the debris. But I always make sure that I don't have anything left. But since I have my recycle bin right here, even if I do drop something in there like last night, I can usually find it pretty easy. And I think what I'm going to do is, let's put these here so I don't lose them on the design. All right. So with the kits that Stampin' Up has, if it's a regular kit like this in a brown box with the polka dots, these kits have everything you need to prepare the item or items exactly as they're pictured. You don't need anything else unless you want, you know, snips. Like I like to sometimes cut these little nubs off from the laser cut pieces because I don't like the nubs hanging out. I think they only are noticeable probably to me. Most other people say, oh, I didn't even see those. So, and I don't know if, yes, this kit, we'll see how it turns out. I'm excited. I'm actually, oh, the only other thing you do really need though is a heat gun. And with the kits too, if you're a beginner stamper, this QR code, when you scan it, they'll give you some tips for some basics, some stamping basics. If you want to see a demonstration of how they put the kit together, which I didn't do, I should have, but I just opened this tonight. This one, you can watch the detailed instructions for how the kit was put together. So we'll just wing it. So you do need a glue gun. And I thought it said it somewhere on the instructions, but it's probably just on the inside here because here it shows a little picture of a glue gun. So you would find out eventually, but be prepared. Yeah, well, you're a better woman than I am because I'm not a fan of fussy cussing. Um, but I think fussy cutting is worth it to make something look really nice. One of the gals on my team, Jen, loves to fussy cut, or at least she says she does. She says she finds it relaxing. Me, not so much. But a little shout out to my team. We are at the end of a fiscal year for Stampin' Up, and everyone on my team did really well this year. Everybody has maintained their title, which is good, so they get to keep their discount going forward. And I've got a couple of gals that are working their little community groups, and we're having a good time. So these are the windows here, and I'm thinking a nice little fussy cutting is good when your mojo is gone, or doing a kit. When I can't think of things to do, or if I'm just really tired, or if I think I don't have a lot of time, I will do a kit. But like the scrapbook kit, that takes quite a long time. And some of the other kits, once I start working on them and you start getting some ideas, and you know, I can spend a lot of time working on a kit. All right, look at this cute little web. And there's a score line on there, so that's obviously going to get probably attached sideways. That's pretty fun. And then our little ghost. Don't want to lose these. Yeah, fussy cutting would not be my first go-to. Oh, this is nice. This is, if anybody watched me with some of the month by month virtual album retreat, this is a heavier, not really a tag board. So it's lighter than the chipboard, but it's heavier than cardstock. I would say it's probably like 2 or 3 pieces of cardstock together. Did I say cardboard before? But it's nice. It's sturdy. It's very nice and sturdy. So there's a score line here. So that's going to go over there. And there's a score line on this side. And that's going to go over there. And I am not sure what Vicky Boutin 49 is. Is that kits or ephemera packs? Do you do junk journaling, Nicole? I don't remember what your forte is. I'm pretty much kind of a Stampin' Up snob. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just I like having all of my components color coordinated. I can get a discount on everything I buy. There's nothing I buy that does not have a discount. I get a discount on every product. I mean, there are some like supply items that I order. Stampin', okay. Sells a bit of everything in their own style. Okay. Well, that's cool. What was I saying? Oh, why I'm kind of a Stampin' Up snob. This would actually, it's too bad it's so close together. That would kind of make a fun decorative mask. But these are also heavier pieces. So these bats, it looks like we're going to put them back to back with the wire in between. Let's just see how many we have here. Sure enough, looks like those will all fit back to back. So we'll see, whoops, we'll flip that one the right way. We'll see when we get to the instructions for those parts how close I am. But it's everything's color coordinated. They do a lot of the creative work to give us ideas. And it all gets delivered to my door. So I get everything on sale all the time, and it's delivered to my door. And I don't have to think about colors because, I've got a color coach and all of those little things. So there's a cute little tree. That was pretty easy, right from here on the instructions. So that was very easy. So we'll set that off to the side with our fence. We'll put our fence off to the side also. So that's all of our pieces. So let's take a look here. So for step 1, it wants us to use the tear and tape. 3 of the little windows. 1, 2, well, it wants the one with the chandelier because that's there, so we'll go there. I'm just reading comments here. Nicole, what kind of embellishments do you make on your own? Like, do you make your own beads or baubles? I don't know what you're using. All right, and I'm just gonna, I guess those are gonna go in. It's not following the Mountain Valley rule here. So it looks like we got roof pieces here. I'm just kind of going through all these pieces so I can find these. All right. This. Aha. This is one of them. So that's this piece. And it's having me just kind of fold everything. So you junk journal and scrapbook with homestamp pages too. I hadn't read that whole message, sorry. All right, so this one is gonna come here, and it looks like we're using the tear and tape for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the tear and tape on the edge of the window. And I think I'm just gonna use my snips today. And I have never done junk journaling. I mean, I've watched a couple of the gals on here do it. I think with the junk journaling, Sala, do you call yours junk journaling or do you call yours something else? Because yours looks, I don't know, it looks cleaner somehow. I don't know if that's a good way to describe it. But some of the things I've seen you do just look like they would be more my style if I was going to do that rather than having a lot of ragged edges and painted pages and stuff. Because I just don't know that that's quite my style. All right. So there's definitely a right side and a wrong side. So this is the wrong side. I'm going to put that up so that we can get our chandelier nicely in the window here. So there's our little chandelier in there. And then we'll put some tear and tape on these side windows. Journals. Yeah, that would make sense. And I suppose the junk journals, if it's all repurposed things. I know Juju had a book the other day in one of hers. Diaries of a Wimpy Kid. Wimpy Kid? Is that the book series? One of my nephews, well, it's a great nephew. He reads that book or that series. So when she got that and she said she was probably going to turn it into some kind of journal, I thought, oh, what a fun idea. I would not have thought of that, even though I have seen some of you gals do those with the kids' books, like the golden books. It just wouldn't have occurred to me. So I may have to try some of those sorts of things or add some of those to some scrapbook pages. Like with my granddaughter, she really likes the Berenstain Bears books right now because she can actually read them. They're elementary enough that she can read them. And she's starting to like the concept of chapter books. But she doesn't always have the patience to read and get into the story. Now, when my kids were little, we had, this will kind of share with you how old I am. Of course, you know I have a granddaughter, so I can't be super young. But we had just gotten a computer, a home computer, where they had kind of gotten affordable and we could get one. And that's kind of fun. So these two pieces we need, and I've already folded these pieces. So we got a home computer and we had loaded some children's educational games on it. And here we've got these pieces here. So it's showing dimensionals in there, it looks like. Let me try to zoom this in maybe just a little bit. And I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but there's some little spots on there that make it look like there's the black dimensionals on there. So I'm just going to flip these. Oh, well, I suppose I wouldn't have to flip them over. Don't make it more difficult than it needs to be. All right, and my little bag with my wires. So anyway, when my kids wanted to play the games on the computer, we had a household rule that they had to read a book. And however long they read the book, and be careful that you don't lose this little piece. However long they were reading is how long they could be on the computer. And usually what happened was they would start reading and they would lose track of time and be so interested in the book that they kind of forgot that they wanted to go on the computer. And that was kind of our goal. So these actually seem kind of big. I'm going to use my mini dimensionals. You could cut those in half. I just don't want to deal with cutting them into smaller pieces. And it could be just little bits of tear tape, I suppose, too. Because they only say tear tape there, so maybe that's what they want. Maybe they just want us to put tear tape on there. It just seems like such a small... I lost the end. It seems like a small piece. Kaleidoscope pages. That's cool. And I was just reading this other comment. Calligrapher and a bookbinder gate crashes a scrapbooking event. That's good. All right, so let's go ahead and put some of these on here. There's really not an easy way to do this. Maybe the glue dots would have worked. Maybe that's what they had on there, was glue dots. They're circles. Usually if there's glue dots, they put the little symbol on there. So I'm going to go to glue dots for the next bat because I think that will be easier. Yeah, and you know, with my kids, with their reading, they both really love to read. So for us, it worked, you know, and now even with our granddaughter, you know, she likes TV time and she likes her little iPad time, and she's, you know, restricted to what she can do on the iPad, but, you know, I would rather the kids just play outside, you know, do stuff. So these are kind of squiggly. So I'm going to see if, I don't know if there's an easy way to do this. We'll just maybe kind of wrap that around and straighten them out a little bit. Maybe I'll get a pencil for the next one. doesn't really give us a whole lot of direction. Mine are probably a little more squiggly than they need to be, but that's fine. And then let's take these backings off of here. And hopefully these will stay. Otherwise, I may deconstruct these and use hot glue. We'll see what they do. And I'm going to put more glue dots in this middle part. It shows one, but I'm gonna do a couple. And as you're doing them, just make sure that you've got your wings laid out so that they line up properly. Yeah, I don't know if it's the age, Sala, or, you know, do the kids there have like tablets or computers in the classroom? Because here, since COVID, it's like every student gets issued a laptop or a tablet. And, you know, these kids need to have paper books in their hands. And, yeah, it just, all the electronics, you know, and we as adults, I mean, I'm probably pretty addicted to my phone too. Yeah, although we do with our granddaughter, when she stays over, we read a story every night at bedtime. So she picks out the book, and we're at the point now where I know she's tired. Hey, Juju. I know she's tired, but I'll have maybe her read a page, and then I'll read a page. And we'll go through the books that way. But every night, since she was a baby. Yeah, I think we're so quick, and I'm using we as a general term. We're so quick to want to medicate kids when they have problems sitting still. Well, maybe you should just send them outside and let them burn off a little steam. You know, because when we were little, when my kids were little and they didn't have all the electronics to overstimulate them, they went outside. They played a lot. You know, when I was a kid, we used to play out in the neighborhood till well after dark. You know, my mom would call out the back door. She'd just yell out my name and call me home. It's like, yeah, I'm coming. But we didn't sit in front of the TV all the time. We didn't sit in front of our electronics. And I think there's just so much garbage out there for our kids to absorb. You know, that's why we have chickens. We've got a jungle gym for our granddaughter in the backyard so that when she's here with us, she has stuff to do outside. My husband is really good about taking her to the park. She loves going to the park. So he's really good about taking her to the park. And, you know, she bakes with me and crafts with me, and you know, that's why she knows her fractions, and, you know, because she measures when we bake. She knows what 1/3 cup is and 2/3 cup, and how to find, you know, if it's 3/4, she knows why it's 3/4. Not just it's a number on the side of the cup that Grandma said I need to use. She knows it's 3 parts of 4, you know, just stuff like that. And I guess I didn't need to put glue dots there. I wanted the glue dots on the body. It's because I'm talking. So, and you know, they have found too that the kids that have extracurricular activities at school, sports and music, they usually do much better academically. What did I do? No, I did that one backwards. So we'll have to do this one here and this one here. See, that's why I warned everybody. You watch the sides you're using. I was going to do this kit with my granddaughter, and we probably could have done it as a guest stamper, but I thought tomorrow's October, so we're just going to play with this. So I should have one more wire. What did I do with it? Here it is. So Australia curriculum, there's so much in it to be covered and not enough revision of the basic core learning. Yeah, and we have, I think, the same problems here. They're so busy talking about things in the classroom that are inappropriate for children, in my opinion. They should be doing more of the math and reading and science and art and music, those basic things that will serve the children into the adulthood and, you know, help them get focus and discipline and all of that. But that's just me. I'm kind of old school. All right. So we can always bend those a little bit more later, I suppose. And here I'm just going to put a couple more glue dots on the body to hold those wires in place. I mean, even when I worked at the college, we just saw such a shift during the lockdowns for COVID. More students that, you know, can't focus and need special room to take their tests in and can't have distractions and need extra time because they were so used to just not having to really meet minimum requirements, I think. That's what it seemed like to me. All right, so there's all of those. All right, so Juju, we did a tree. We did 2 pieces of a fence here. We did the bats. This is what we're doing, this little haunted house kit. So let's go to the next step here. So that was the first 5 steps. So step 6, we've got this piece and I'm going to move these off to the side because we don't need them right now, but I need a little bit of room. We need these side pieces. And we need, okay, we're going to put a side piece here, it looks like. And a side piece here. So glue gun to the rescue here. And I'm going to have to put, whoops, a refill piece in here, I think. I got these new glue guns. One of the gals that crafts with me, Jill, we were doing a kit, and she had this Surebonder glue gun, and it had its own little stand and where the little droplet of glue comes down. I don't know, I don't remember if hers was cordless or not, but mine can be run cordless or with a cord. And then I got this fingertip one too. I think you're supposed to be able to do, oh, I think you're supposed to be able to use it like a pencil. So I haven't used this one a whole lot, but that's the same brand, Surebonder. Yeah, all right. More glue here. We were talking about fussy cutting earlier. So you did an epic collage, fussy cutting a glue page. Well, I'm glad it was not an epic fail, and you're allowed to toot your own horn. Because sometimes nobody else will, so we have to toot our own horn. All right, so then we have, oh, these little windows. I guess those are supposed to get cut out. Or punched out, rather. I may keep those. Those might make fun little bricks. We could probably glue a few of those on there and make them look like bricks. I like that idea. Probably not the rounded ones. I'll get those out of the way, but I think I'll keep all of these others. You just never know. Yeah, I really like this glue gun. It's a very fine tip, which my other one was just the normal tip. So let me get my next glue stick ready to go. It shows the back on there, but that piece isn't actually shown on the directions. That's weird. But obviously that has to go on there. So this has to go here in order to make it the house. Okay, here we go. So this is supposed to go like this. Oh, so that's the type of tile texture you were talking about when I made the hippo Halloween card. Oh, I'll have to pull that one out because that one I still have, because that's going to go to one of the kids. Let's see if it's here. Oh, this might be a different one. No, this is not the hippo card. I think I did another hippo card too. Here's the other one. So I'll have to find that. That's a good idea. See, when I can't hear what everybody's thinking, when I can't hear what everybody's thinking, keep the window pop-out section for cobblestone path to the door. Yeah, that would be good too. That would definitely be good. And I might use some embossing paste because I did get my embossing paste. This is shimmery white, so I can color that. Did you know that? You can color your embossing paste? I'm sure you gals know all that. There, this goes like this. So this part of the house is supposed to, I guess, be like that. And then this will go here. And this will go here. All right, so I guess I'm ready to do some glue here. Yeah, the doorway hippo, okay. You're too lazy for mixed media. If it's just not your thing, it's just not your thing, you know? All right, we're getting there. Whoops. I might need to put a little bit more glue in there because I just snapped it apart. Here's where I think I need to be working on my big table. Well, we're going to do something with this, and you might become a fan. I love coloring it, though, with just our re-inkers. All right, let's fold this a little bit better. Yes, different strokes, so to speak, for different folks. I just like that I can take this glue gun off the base and not have to worry about a cord. And then as soon as you plug it back in, it's heating up all over again. So it stays warm and your glue stays all hot. So this is actually coming together faster than I expected it to. Oh, except I bet those other window pieces, these other window pieces are supposed to go in here. So make a note to yourself. Oh, my mistake. So here's where that back piece was in. I missed it. I was thinking those were the same ones. My window pieces were supposed to go on this piece also. So we'll figure it out. I still have room. I can put it in there easy enough. Just don't do what I did. So you love it. Okay. See, that's me too. I don't like it when when you can't see it coming together. And, you know, I've watched some of Juju's stuff, and I don't know how quick some of that stuff dries, but it just seems like I don't want to wait a long time. Like the other night when I had that velvet specialty paper, and when I embossed it and then added the color to it, you have to give it some time to dry. And I just didn't want to let it sit there, so I had to use a heat gun because that sped the process up because I don't have the patience. All right, this is coming together. I'm a little I'm a little uncoordinated with this, but it's coming. It's working. Don't do what I do. Follow the instructions and pay attention to the pieces. These are different pieces, and it's very obvious they're different pieces. But I was distracted. Too busy jaw-jacking. Luckily, this isn't all closed up, and I didn't have the opportunity to fix my mistake. There's still a way to make it right. Yeah, measuring is not for everybody either. Like, you know, on the scrapbook pages that I do, I don't measure all the margins and everything. I mostly line that, you know, eyeball it. Oh, that would be a fun way to amp up your English. Listen to Juju on Speed Talk. That's funny. Although when I worked at the college, we would have some like employee modules that we would have to listen to online, and I would always put those on higher speed too, because I didn't have the patience to sit through it. All right, crisis averted. So there's the windows on the back side. All right, so here's our frame of our house. How about that? All right, so now we're doing these pieces, which is there just one? No, there's, oh, wrong ones. These. Oh, let me get to the right side here, the right side of the instructions. So this piece goes Not like this. Now like this. This piece goes on top. All right, so the roof goes first. And we're going to do this first. I'm going to fold these down. Some of that isn't English. All right. So we're putting hot glue. I guess we're doing it on all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're putting hot glue on all of those. Yeah, American English is not like the original English. We're like shortcuts and slang and all of that. All right, let's see. What do I think is going to work out best for me? Because I'm just afraid that my glue is going to dry so fast, or it's going to cool off really fast. Maybe. Boy. Let's go like this. Yes. Quiet, 2, 2, or TWO for the number is also 2 for us. Our, like, that's our house, or our, like 3 o'clock, or are you coming to my class? They're slightly different, but still very similar. So I think I'm gonna try, I don't know what I should do first. This just feels like it's gonna move a lot on me. I think I'm gonna do the glue on these sides first. Oops, I have to push this in a little further maybe. There we go. I feel like I can't really dilly-dally with this. Oops. Yes, you do need to know. And I'm just not sure if the schools are doing enough to teach some of those things. I know with our granddaughter, where she's at, she's in a very reputable school district. She's in public school, though. She's not in a private school. And they seem pretty attentive to manners and the academics without too many shortcuts. So we're hoping it's going to be all right. I feel a little uncoordinated. You're right. It's because they can't read books anymore. But you know, when my daughter was in school, I got a little bit of a gappy going on here. When my daughter was in school, they were using this writing to read program, and they didn't make the kids spell properly. They could write down whatever letters made sense to them, and it was okay. And I'm going to put a little bit more glue like inside here to seal some of these edges, I think. So it was called writing to read. So as long as they understood it, it was fine. The teachers would accept it. Well, here's my daughter in, high school and still struggling to spell some words properly. And I think it was because of this writing to read. And what got me, what I couldn't understand is because she was reading all the time. You would think that just being exposed to all the words in the books all the time, she would have been able to spell. But I guess it just wasn't that easy. All right. That's pretty solid. Look at that. Isn't that cute? All right. We're getting there. Cute. All right, let's see what's next. This little piece. I don't know what that means. Fold these in. Fold. I guess that just means send. Yes, how are you? That's great. When I send a text, it is still proper grammar. Now, where does this go? I gotta figure out how this goes. So I have this piece like this. This goes, maybe it goes like this. Let's look at the picture because this isn't making sense to me. So I'll get that. This piece. So there's triangles there. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now it makes sense. So these pieces go here, and then that tucks in. Ooh, that was a struggle. All right, now it makes sense. Okay, so we need just glue on. So it's showing glue on the insides. I think that goes there. I didn't get that straight. There we go. I'm not sure if there was a best way to do this or not. But I'm going to put some glue at these little seams on the inside. And then it looks like it wants me to put glue, it looks like, on the top of those pieces, but that doesn't make sense because I want that tucked in. I don't want those seams hanging out. I want that tucked in. Ah, your mom was a teacher, so that's why you spoke well. All right, let's tuck those in. Quick draw. You know, it would have made sense to me if there was like a way to get this roof peak put together before you put it on, because there's no way to push it from the inside. But it should be all right. It's not coming apart yet. That's a good thing. All right, now I think we're to decorating. All right, so we have this piece that looks like it's supposed to go up there. There, I'm gonna go like this. So I'm gonna fold, oh, this does have a score on here. So we're gonna fold those up. So that's gonna go that way. And this little fencing piece that actually looks like a bunch of little pine trees, those are gonna stick straight up. All right, so we're gonna do tear and tape on here. Maybe. That house is awesome. And then, you know, you could put a little candy dish under here and, you know, lift up the house and hide the candy under there. All right, so we're gonna put tear and tape on here. Across the top edge. Well, not the top, but the main edge there. And there. Oh, and it shows to put the bats on before this. All right, so let's find our bats. I actually think if we stick them, I wonder if you can stick them in the cardboard. Or if it's supposed to go. Maybe they're just poked in. I'll get them in. All right, one down. I'm getting there. Maybe, maybe I'm getting there. I'm trying to get these kind of poked in the side so that they stay. The wire is slippery though, and it's poking right through there. That's not what I wanted to happen. I don't want to use just tape because it doesn't seem like that would be strong enough. There we go. All right. And then we have this last one. I think I'm going to use my little pokey tool and just start it. There, that helped. All right, now we can put this piece on. Yeah, that roof piece, that peak was a little tricky. But the way they have the glue, so I guess maybe they did put these pieces together first and then glued it on the house. I did it backwards. Figures. Figures. But it worked out all right. Oh, well, that's a good idea, Nicole. I didn't think of that. Very cute. All right, let's see what's next. All right, so here's our little bats. That'll stay up once I set it upright. So we have to put some of our designs on here. So we're gonna do, whoops. We're gonna put the house or the door on here. And that shows it. Everything basically is with dimensionals or glue dots. Now the web is with the glue dot, the ghost is with the glue, but it looks like everything else is dimensionals. All right, let's use just some little ones just because I have that one handy. No, they just have 4 on the door, but I'm going to put a few more on the door. So I hadn't even really thought about making it into a gingerbread house. That's a good idea. But then I have to wonder too, did Stampin' Up! Already think of that maybe? Maybe we'll have a gingerbread kit. You just never know. All right. And our little web uses glue dots. Yes, Nicole is a genius. Did you mention that before I started gluing it together though, Nicole? Because that could have been helpful. Thinking outside the box. I was just too focused. All right, so that's gonna go there. And then, let's see, we've got a cat. Got the cat by the door. I used to have a black cat. Guess what his name was? Midnight. Seriously, it was Midnight. All right, so these have score lines on them. And it looks like glue dots for that. So the glue dots you're going to want to put on the colored side of the paper because it's going to go under the eave. The cover image, are you saying would make a good card? I agree. There we go. So a haunted house with a party banner. You got to do what you got to do, right? I know a lot of people that don't do Halloween stuff. And, you know, when my kids were little, we did Halloween stuff. But then they get older and then you don't do it so much. And I kind of got out of the habit. And then, you know, my granddaughter now is like, oh yeah, I guess we need to do some Halloween stuff again. All right, and these little pumpkins can go over there. Or we could put them in front of a window here. I guess that's fine. Just rub those little nubs off of there. Oh, and I have to put all the shutters on too. I wasn't thinking of that. All right. So the shutters go that way because if they were to close, it needs to follow the window line, right? Let me move that over. So the shutters, when they open, should kind of face out. Let's see, what else do we have? We have a spider to put on here. Get rid of some of these little pieces. They've got the spider in the window, but I kind of want the spider on the web. Although, you know, what would be cute is to have the spider hanging. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to let the spider hang. I'll find some, I have some old, like metallic thread. I think I'll do that. And then our little ghost is going to go on a shutter. So let's just get a pair here. And we'll put some dimensionals on those. We're getting there. It's putsy, so this is right up my alley, right? Oh, you get to do the Chinese festivals. Well, that would be fun. My son is married to a woman, or I should say my daughter-in-law is half Japanese and half Korean. But they celebrate a traditional U.S. Christmas and Thanksgiving. They do Thanksgiving also. Well, it's kind of fun that this has no stamping. There's nothing wrong with not having stamping, right? And this is just on a glue dot. Well, I'm going to move that glue dot because I don't like it there because it's showing through. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to use a little bit of snail. And we'll see if that works better, because I have found that the snail is pretty invisible on vellum. Nope, even that's showing through. All right. I'm going to take this off too. And I'm just going to try to put a glue dot and roll it up behind the ghost's mouth. I could use Tombow. So you don't do Thanksgiving. Oh, you have Father's Day in November. Our Father's Day is in June. All right, so let's try this glue dot again here. And we're just gonna kind of make it a little snap ball, I guess. And put it on the ghost's mouth. And that's going to be that. Good enough. All right, what else do we have? We have a bone. Where does, oh, the bone is for the handle of the door. Well, that's kind of fun. I'm going to roll those up again. And when you roll them up, it's going to make the door handles stick out just a little bit, which is fun. Alrighty. Banner, door, cat, pumpkins. I've still got that spider over there. I think that's everything. Oh, I have to finish putting the shutters on. Silly me. And there's some on the back of the house as well. This is actually a fun kit. Oh, and I guess I didn't attach the shutters for the top window. I need to do that. I just laid them out there. And they only use 2 dimensionals for each of the shutters. I'm using 3 because I don't want the middles to sag, because I'll be storing this and putting it out again for another year, or if I end up giving it away to somebody, I don't want it to be falling apart, you know. Okay. Now we can go to the back side. So Nicole, did you put some of your shutters? I was trying to look and make sure that it was yours. Did you put some of your shutters like falling off to make it look more haunted? Or did you just put them straight so it looked like it was a well-kept haunted mansion? Alrighty, now we're getting there. We're getting down to the last few pieces here. So quiet. Who's crafting their own thing right now? And if you're crafting, what are you making? I appreciate that you came and hung out with me. You did yours wonky. Mm-hmm. You're right. The thought occurred to me, but I figured if I'm trying to make it like the sample, see how many I can put up on there. I just bent it. Does that count to make it wonky? Well, this one was fun. There was another kit that Stampin' Up! Did a number of years ago that was a wheelbarrow and pumpkins. That one was kind of challenging. Mine didn't want to stay together. I don't remember if we used hot glue for that one or if they had, I think there was a tape that they used. And the tape wasn't maybe as secure as what hot glue would have been. I mean, it was cute when you got it done. Sally, I just saw your comment. That's funny. All right. So that's a cute little house. Now, where, oh where did my skeleton head go? And that already has adhesive on it. It's on a little plastic piece, so it already has adhesive on it. Like a fun little embellishment. Well, that makes it all that much more fun. Now, if I go find some of my metallic thread, we're going to see about hanging up this spider. Do you remember this stuff? This was rose. I have gold too, but I think the rose is going to be fine. Let's see if this works. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it to the under the roof. Yes, that was a paper pumpkin kit. Yeah, unfortunately, paper pumpkin's not by you yet. They're working on it though. I'm going to take a piece of tear and tape and see if I can get that in here. And I think I'm done with my glue gun. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. All right, let's see if we can get this taped in there. And I'm not taking the backing off the tear and tape, I'm just using it as one-sided tape. And then, too bad they didn't give us two spiders. Just trying to get that stuck on the back there. Maybe instead of a glue dot, I'll put a piece of tear and tape on that too. That's too big. It does look kind of cozy. Wednesday era, that's fun. Oops, I didn't need to take that off. And it's Wednesday. That's funny. All right, let's see. I need to put some black on the back of the spider, I think. I can't show this. It's not going to show swinging, but that little spider will swing there. I think that's kind of fun. Yeah, the warm yellow does that. And then what I wanted to do is try a little candle behind here. If you put candles behind these windows, or maybe a flashlight. I don't have a flashlight in here. Give me a second. I'm going to go get a flashlight. I have a bunch of them. Oh, sure. This one's out of battery juice. Figures. Let me go get another flashlight. This is my firefighter flashlight. It's really bright. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So if it's sitting on a table, you just have to kind of imagine. Yeah, well, my phone is what I use to record my videos. So I can't take that down. Because then we wouldn't be able to see the inside of the house. But then we have our little tree. We have our fence. Instead of a white picket fence, we've got a black picket fence. I will post, I'll post a picture of this on my Facebook page. Nicole, I'd love to see your version. I'd love to see your version. Isn't that fun with some lights in there? I love it. And then here's our little spider that's kind of hanging there. Very fun. I like it. That's fun. I'm glad I put it together. So now we'll have it decorated for when our granddaughter comes over. She won't be here this next weekend, but she'll be here the weekend after. So I think what I'll do is maybe put some designer series paper on here. I'll figure out what I want it to look like. Or maybe just even some cardstock, and I'll just do some ink blending or something. But I'll put pictures on my Facebook page. Nicole, add your pictures there. Anybody, I don't know, did you do a gingerbread house, or you just think you're going to do a gingerbread house? Because I think that would be fun also. But I will probably hide a little bit of candy under this house and see if the grandkids can find it. So that's all I have for you tonight, everybody. Here's our little, we'll pretend that our house is standing upright. That was fun. If I would have read the instructions ahead of time, maybe, and did a dry run, then I could have maybe done it a little bit better. But thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. That was fun. And I will post a picture on my Facebook page. So if you've made one of these or something similar, add your picture. right. So until next time, happy crafting.